We are live. All right. I think so. Hello, everybody out there. I'll make sure my hair is looking tippy top shape. Welcome to the Sunday service. All right. I am Ben. I will be your host today. Okay. Just wrapping up from dinner. Let me clear my desktop off. Dreams and desires, minimize. Cryptocurrency, minimize. Why Christians are shitty storytellers, minimize. Christopher, hello. Here they come. Hey, babes. Are we cool?
Yeah,
Okay, sorry.
we're cool. You're yelling at me, and I was like,
Oh, sorry.
It's felt a little unfair, but I get that.
Christina is on time. You're more on time than me. Cammy and I are still trying to figure out a little fighty thing that we're not fighty. It's not just miscommunication.
Yeah.
Miscommunication.
Yeah.
Miscommunication.
Yeah, you know what it is.
They know how. You guys know how it is. Which that would probably be more interesting than reading to talk about that. Maybe. You guys ever get in a conflict with someone or you want something and you think you let them know, but then you find out they want something else and didn't hear what you communicated? It's like that kind of thing. Good evening, Jen Robbins and Rosalia from Stratford, Ontario. Christopher Rollins says, I like 30-minute advance notice. I think that comes when you subscribe to notifications on YouTube, I believe. So if you want to find out, hello, Right Voss, Amy, I believe. If you guys want to get notifications about these future live streams, enter in the notification little bell thing on our channel, which I've never asked people to do because I feel like the last thing people need is more push notifications from their devices. But in this case, it's for a good cause. Evelyn, hello. Christina says, I'm good with a spontaneous chit chat instead. Would you like to chit chat about our... Cammy says it was not a fight. What was it? A miscommunication?
I think so. I think it was more that.
Okay, miscommunication. But miscommunications can turn into fights. Boy, can they. I wonder what the steps in between miscommunication and fight is. It's like miscommunication, then it's probably like blame the other person.
Listen to each other.
You got to speak into this thing if you want.
Yeah.
Well, you don't listen to each other, yeah. And then there's some feelings that are hurt from the miscommunication. So then you're looking for someone to blame. So then you blame the other person. And then people start pulling their swords out and their shields out. And it's just like, been there. Oh, Amy just listened to What the Fit podcast today. At first I thought you were actually cussing, but it's actually called What the Fit. Spelled like that. Awesome conversation. I'm really glad you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that conversation too. And that lady lives about 1.5 miles that way from me. So it's like a 5-minute drive from my house. So it was really fun. Okay, we read The Blizzard, right? So we're on chapter 6. So we are reading from 2,000 Miles Together, the story of the largest family to hike the Appalachian Trail by me. And this book is available on paperback and Kindle and audiobook. But we've been having a lot of fun reading chapter by chapter with you guys on the live stream on Sunday nights at 7 p.m. And my goal is to get through the whole thing. We'll see how we do. Next week, we're going to Chicago. But we're going to be back by 7 to do this. That's the plan. Okay, let's get started, huh? Enough dilly-dallying. Chapter 6, called Child Protective Services. Dun, dun, dun. Now, I guess maybe some people, like in our community, which was like homeschool community, when you say CPS, everyone knows what that means. That means Child Protective Services. And everyone is a little bit freaked out by CPS because like these horror stories would go around. You're off camera. Do you want to be on camera?
Yeah. I mean, the thing's turned that way.
Yeah, well, I like how you look, and maybe other people will like how you look too. Look at that. That's Cammy, everybody. Where was I? Oh yeah. When the word CPS was said, everyone kind of was a little bit nervous because there was never like good stories of CPS from the families that we were around, which is like, not to generalize, but not like drugged out, super abusive families. Like I know CPS has its place and I hear stories of them doing good things, but we always heard the stories of like, oh, like your kid's not in public school as many days as they're supposed to. So CPS shows up and then like separates you from your kids in the meantime before they shoot and then aim. So even that phrase I know is not familiar to everyone, but was kind of a nerve-wracking phrase to us. This is a short chapter. Good. Okay, the quote that we start off this chapter with is by a guy named Neil Postman, and that quote is, "If parents wish to preserve childhood for their own children, they must conceive of parenting as an act of rebellion against culture." I love Neil Postman, by the way. If you just go to Google or if you just type in like Neil Postman quotes, dude, it'll blow your mind. I discovered him in college, my 1 year of college. Okay. On day 22, we woke up on a bathroom floor to find the sun had come up, but the temperature outside was still just 16 degrees, well below freezing. Okay, I got to be honest with you guys. I completely guessed at the 16 degrees. That's like total BS because I don't know if it was 16 degrees. It might have been 19 degrees. It was below freezing. It could have been 22 degrees, but I thought 16 degrees sounded more dramatic. So I put 16 degrees. I just had to get that off my chest. That's terrible storytelling, but honesty. We melted some snow to drink and did an inventory of our remaining food. We had split the final 2 ounces of salmon jerky the previous evening, so we only had 2 single servings of oatmeal and 6 ounces of nuts left. Even though the food situation was bleak, we weren't too nervous. We were warm enough wearing all our layers and conserving energy, and we'd be able to restock our food supplies when we met up with my parents. The real killer would be boredom. It's so funny how sitting still, I feel like you can go long times without food. And I'm experimenting with intermittent fasting right now. Like the last 5 days, I've gone 22 hours without eating every day. So we're in a bathroom, we're not eating. It's like I'm not too nervous. But when you're hiking, you actually do need food all the time. It feels like, at least. Otherwise, you can't walk. Sitting huddled on our piece of Tyvek, a piece of waterproof construction material used to wrap houses that we used as a lightweight tarp, in the corner of the cement bathroom, there was literally nothing to do but wait. Buckeye, our neighbor in the men's restroom, shared the weather forecast. The temperature wasn't supposed to get above freezing the entire day. This made us uneasy. We wondered if the roads were going to thaw enough to allow traffic and when my parents would be able to make it up to us. Dude, this was so nerve-wracking. We're in this crappy cement room, like with nothing but 8 of us, which I know like everyone thinks our family is just like the Brady Bunch and enjoys each other all the time. But we had this like 15 miles away, there was like this oasis for hikers with all you can eat buffets and pancakes and hotels and water slides. And we were like stuck on a road that was closed, not knowing if it was going to be 1 day or 3 days.
Yeah.
Like that feeling.
Rough.
It's like, you know how they say like some of the most forms of torture, like uncertainty, like
Mhm.
when they come and wake you up at random times. That's how it felt. Like it's one thing if we just knew it was going to be 3 days, we could like mentally prepare, but we didn't know.
Mhm.
At 8 a.m., we heard plows on the road a couple of 100 feet downhill, but everything around us was still covered in snow and ice. Everyone's shoes were soaked, so I walked out on the ice in my flip-flops to get to the road. The parking lots were plowed. The guys driving the plows said there was no guarantee the road would open that day, but the National Park Service is notorious for not updating its employees, so we held out hope. Buckeye and his hiker friend, who'd both slept in the men's bathroom, were so stir crazy they decided to go for it and hike the 15-mile closed road into town. After they left, we had no cell phone to connect with the Park Service, my parents, or the hotel, where we'd already missed our reservation. Because the parking lot was located at a high elevation gap with crazy wind, it was unbearable to be outside for more than a few minutes. Still, Rainier wanted to walk around and play in the snow. We couldn't blame him. It was hell to be stuck in that bathroom. The boredom was insufferable, especially when we knew that just a short 15 miles away, there was pancakes, warm beds, and wireless internet. Cammy used the time to clean up the constant dripping from the windows with toilet paper, the one thing we had plenty of. That was so funny when you're doing that. She started at one window, went down the line, and by the time she finished, the first one was wet again. It gave her something to do. Thankfully, we weren't alone for long. More road crews showed up to plow and shovel the sidewalks. At one point, someone poked their head into the bathroom and asked if we needed help. Since emergency vehicles could make it through, we wondered if they might offer to take us into town. We walked out to talk to them, and soon Rainier, thinking that having a baby, we walked out to talk to them and took Rainier, thinking that having a baby might tug at their hearts and increase our chances. The burly bearded guy in a national park uniform squinted at our baby and asked, "You guys okay?" "Yeah, we're good," I responded. "Any idea when the roads are going to open up?" This was so passive aggressive. "Nope. They don't tell us anything." I like so wanted him to offer like a ride in,
Yeah.
but I like didn't want to ask for like a number of reasons.
Mhm.
But the dude would not ask.
Mhm.
Nope, they don't tell us anything. We heard about you guys though. This can't be good, I thought. Bunch of people called in and said you're in trouble. Where the hell did that come from? Also, heard your parents are in the park ranger's office waiting for the roads to open. Finally, some good news. I could tell that he wasn't going to respond to my hints that we'd love a ride into town, and I didn't want him calling in help and making a federal case out of us. Doing this would trigger emergency procedures, a huge waste of resources, not to mention a massive fuss and even more negative attention online. Our boredom wasn't an actual emergency. It just felt that way. I started to back away with a wave. "Thanks for the help. We're great. We'll just wait." "You sure? Because I can call in and they can send help." "No, we're fine and don't mind waiting," I reassured him, and he nodded and walked away. Finally, at about 2 p.m., we heard the road was going to open. The kids cheered, and Rainier repeated, "Yay, out," again and again. We made our way and hoped the first car to drive by would be Hominy and Papa. Hominy, for those of you who don't remember, is my mom, and that word means Korean, grandma in Korean. That's what I meant. But instead of my parents, a long string of cars climbed up the hill and pulled into the parking lot. 1 hour earlier, this had been a survival zone. Now, tourists were getting out of their SUVs and kids were throwing snowballs and running around while their parents sat drinking Starbucks on heated seats. It was like so bizarre
Yeah.
because we were like stuck in this place and it felt so remote. And then the second the road opened, it was like there was kids running around in flip-flops almost, like that had just been to
Weird.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like you realize how accessible things are by car, but without cars, they're so far away, it feels like. We had no idea this was a popular tourist spot. After all, it had taken us 3 days to walk here, part of it through a snowstorm. Now we could see that it was a popular spot right off a major highway in a national park on the Tennessee and North Carolina state line. The dissonance of watching clean, warm kids dressed for a day hike mess around in the snow while my kids sat in a dirty, damp hiking gear on a piece of Tyvek in a woman's bathroom was nothing short of jarring. In contrast to our survival situation, everything felt ridiculous. All right. You want to read the next section?
Sure.
Christina says, I'd love for you to talk more about unschooling on your podcast. My husband listened to one about Filia and he's changing his mindset. It inspires us to have a deep conversation about it. Christopher says, I've been to those bathrooms multiple times in my life and they are always wet. Have you been in the women's one, Christopher? Because I realize now it's not as easy to get in there when the roads are open because people would freak out and call me a pervert. Christina, we do have an entire YouTube video. I think it was actually a YouTube live video, if I remember right, that we did on unschooling or schooling.
Mm.
So if you want to remind me at the end, maybe I can find that link, but it's not super current. He says just amends. But it's a good hour-long conversation that's pretty thorough. Okay.
Okay. Meeting Child Protective Services.
Let's see, we're going to have our special musical guest. Okay.
There.
That's where we'll have our
All right.
guest, yeah.
After just a couple minutes standing alongside the road, 3 official-looking government employees approached and asked to speak with us. We assumed they'd been sent by the Park Service to see if we were okay. Are you the Crawfords? They asked. We responded that we were. We work for Child Protective Services, one of them said, indicating himself and the woman next to him. The other man wore a sheriff's uniform with a gold star. We froze. People who live non-traditionally like us, homeschoolers for instance, think more about CPS than the average American family because we often run up against the heat of other people's criticism and discomfort with us not following the rules. American society is not set up to be accepting of variety in child rearing styles. That said, in our 17 years of raising a family, we'd never actually had to deal with CPS. It was our worst nightmare, not walking in a blizzard or sleeping on a bathroom floor, but being separated from our kids. It was hard for our minds not to leap straight to imagining the worst case scenario. Any encounter with CPS is difficult, but it was made all the more harrowing by the fact we had just emerged from the single most physically taxing day of our lives, along with the worst sounding sleeping conditions we'd ever had. After enduring a night on the hard, cold, contaminated concrete floor of a woman's public restroom, we thought we were finally free to enjoy a fun break in town. But now we felt in more danger than at any other time in the entire trip. The CPS officials immediately separated Cammie and I from our kids. One of the agents stayed with us, the other went with our kids. The sheriff stood by to make sure no one caused any trouble, prepared to take our children away from us depending on how we all answer the questions and how the CPS agents assess the situation. Standing in the cold and wind, we could see the kids being interviewed across the parking lot. We had no idea what they were being asked or how they would respond. We'd never prepped them for this type of situation. One of the agents pulled out a clipboard that said North Carolina Safety Assessment across the top. She started asking questions and checking boxes as we answered. We could see some of the questions. Caretaker caused allowed serious physical harm to the child, yes or no. Caretaker is aware of the potential harm and unwilling or unable to protect the child from serious harm, yes or no. Caretaker fails to provide supervision to protect child from potentially serious harm, yes or no. Caretaker does not meet child's immediate needs for food or clothing, yes or no. Physical living conditions are hazardous and immediately threatening to the health and or safety of the child, yes or no.
Dude, I gotta say, I have this this questionnaire still upstairs. I kind of want to frame it or something like that. But this next section, which I guess we're gonna read, it just doesn't do it justice because we are right in, like, you can see this bathroom that we spent the night in, and it's a National Park Service public rest stop restroom. This is the worst sleeping conditions we've ever spent the night as a family.
But they didn't know that we came from there, right?
I don't think they did.
Yeah.
But we were like right there.
Which is funny because that's actually better than coming from one of the shelters in the Smokies.
I know, but when you try to explain to
Yeah.
the night you get interviewed, the first night you get interviewed by a government official trying to see if you're a qualified parent, and you
Mhm.
say that you slept on the floor of a public restroom with your kids, like that sounds so bad.
Mhm.
And that was the day we got interviewed, was the night after we literally spent
Yeah.
the crappiest conditions in our life.
Yeah.
Anyways.
The agent ran through these questions. She paused, then asked where we were sleeping. We pointed at the cement structure up the hill and said, "Over in that heated building." We were careful to avoid the word bathroom. She looked back at the paper, made a check mark, and moved on. Domestic violence exists in the household and poses imminent danger of serious physical harm and or emotional harm to the child. Yes or no? There was another pause. "We got a call saying you flicked a baby and the baby was bleeding," she said. My heart plummeted. "He was never bleeding," I said. At this point, she walked over to Rainier and looked at his mouth. Rainier smiled back at her and laughed. She walked back to us. "He looks fine to me," she said with a shrug. Phew. Then she checked something off on the paper and asked us another question. "Current circumstances combined with information the caretaker has or may have previously mistreated a child in their care suggests the child's safety may be of immediate concern. Yes or no?" Finally, she asked if we had any witnesses that had observed us being good parents. We both drew a blank. It seems so strange to have to defend your parenting to the government and wonder who had your back. Every person we had met or befriended in the past 2 months suddenly became a potential witness. Thankfully, at that moment, my parents pulled up in our 12-passenger van, the van we had left in the rain 207 miles earlier. Before any hugs were exchanged, the CPS workers asked Hominy and Papa to answer a few questions. It was humiliating. My parents were totally confused. They had no idea what was going on. And even though I knew they had been exposed to mine and Cammie's parenting for the past 16 years, it still felt like I'd been caught doing something wrong and was getting busted in front of my parents. When the CPS workers were done, they had us initial every page of their report. That was when we saw what they had concluded. Both officials had given us the okay on every single question. It seemed clear to them we weren't the type of family they were looking for. They agreed everyone was safe and the kids weren't doing the hike against their will. As they turned to leave, the agents mentioned they'd actually enjoyed watching some of our videos, and it was just required protocol to follow up when a report was filed. I kind of forgot that they had watched some of our videos. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's funny. They just barely mentioned that. They're like, keep up the good work.
That's weird. We climbed in the van, excited to drive away from our prison cell from the night before. That morning, all we could think about was pancakes and a soft bed. And now we were just thankful to still have our kids. As we left that frozen parking lot, the thing we appreciated most was having our family healthy and intact without any of our kids having been taken away. We were still together. Okay, the next thing is memories journal entry. I'll show you what it looks like.
Dude, these are so good. Like they're so good looking because they're just like scrappy.
Yeah.
And Memory's handwriting, she's like, it's so like angsty.
It's a little all over the place. All right, Memory. She was age 11, processing her time, being interviewed by CPS. As you can see, we did not censor our kids' language, and they can get pretty colorful. Okay. Wait.
Well, it's
Oh.
on the previous page.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
Well, you can't.
Oh, right. Okay. How you spell the don't give me I don't care how you spell the don't give me shit. I don't care how you spell something. Don't give me shit. Okay. We stayed in the dumb women's bathroom and it sucked. We had rice and tuna and then like a face that's like nasty. Next morning, no. Nah, something Morning Road still closed. Then it opened and we got all packed up. We're waiting for Hominy and Papa. The police cars, we were like, oh shit. Okay, so these ladies ended up being pretty nice. They were CPS and they were asking us questions like, are you warm or how do they treat you? That was pretty scary. And apparently somebody who watched this one flicking vlog about flicking Rainier freaked. That's it. Yeah.
All right. Oh, you're up.
Yep. Or the musical guest is up.
Oh, yeah. All right. Now it's time for a special musical guest. But while we are getting that person ready, Jake says, went on a backpacking trip in the Smokies with my dad 2 weeks ago and took a picture with the infamous bathroom. A number of people have told us that they have been to this bathroom now.
Oh, that's fun.
Which I kind of think it would be really funny to be back to.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. How's the audio out there, everyone? Can everyone hear okay?
Whoa. Okay.
And while Cammy's performing, Christina, I'm going to post the link to that one video, which is called, I found it, Why We Homeschool or Whatever, since you wanted that. So I'm just going to put it in the chat box right now. That is that about unschooling. Okay. All right. I'm very proud to introduce to you guys our special musical guest today, live from Bellevue, Kentucky.
Woo!
It's Cammy Crawford.
Let me know if you can hear me good enough. I think.
Carolyn says great audio this week.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. Well, some of you know this drill, but I'm going to play 3 songs. I have an album that's going to come out very soon. I'm on the last stages of getting it done. And so I've been playing all the songs on that album. Today, I'm actually not going to be playing any of those songs on that album. The first song I'm going to play is not a song that made the album, but I decided I should play it because it actually talks about our Appalachian Trail trip, me kind of processing that. And then I'm going to play another song of mine that's most likely going to be going on the next album. And then I'm going to play a John Denver song. So, all right. Here we go. It was so cold, how will this unfold? Many doubts swirling around my head. You should be at home, keeping your head.
music room?
It's right next door. The new music room is right there.
The new music room is
behind this wall.
You can also see it over there. You can see like the thing. This is our junk podcast room.
This room needs a little bit of TLC still, which probably eventually we'll get there. Okay. This next song of mine. Get to it here. Okay. So this song I wrote, it's called Healing Touch. Okay. Here we go. Your touch is like a river flows through me and you. Tells me, shows me, breaks through me, tells me new things and know things. Your hand in mine, touch at a time, healing the wounds inside. Let the sunshine, let this begin. A new way forward over the wall. I look to you. You said I won't let you fall. I remember what it's like to enjoy touch. Let it fill me, but it's scary. Over the wall that you built around you, keeping the bad guys out, keeping the good guys out, so you can feel again. Your hand in mine, touch at a time, healing the wounds inside. Let the sunshine, let this begin. A new way forward over the wall. I look to you. You said I won't let you fall. You needed the wall, so you wouldn't fall. This is no longer true. Just let me hold you. Tools you no longer need, so that you wouldn't bleed. Let me in. I'm a friend. Your hand in mine, touch at a time, healing the wounds inside. Let the sunshine, let this begin. A new way forward over the wall. You said I won't let you fall. I look to you. You said I won't let you fall. Oh, okay, thank you.
Amy says about the last song, awesome song. Evelyn says about the last song, perfect song for this section of the book. Joy says bravo.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's very nice. Got one more song. Whoops, actually I need to keep that up there. So probably most of you will know this song. Take Me Home, Country Roads by John Denver. Do we have anyone that lives in West Virginia? Okay. Which is also appropriate because that's one of the states that we hiked through.
Amy says she's blown away by your songwriting capabilities.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
This next one is one of the best songs you've ever written.
Which one?
This next one.
Take Me Home, Country Roads.
It's so catchy.
I can't take credit for this one. This is John Denver. All right.
Sing it if you know it.
Yep. Singing along at home.
You're saying the guitar is blocking your voice. I don't know if you need to sing more in the microphone.
Probably.
Check those levels. Are those all straight?
Yeah. Yeah, those are good.
You might want to just put your mouth more in the microphone.
Like move this up, maybe? Sure. Okay. Okay. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country road. All my memories gather round her, miner's lady, stranger to the water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads. I hear her voice in the morning hour. She calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. home, country road. Take me home, down country road. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Tura is asking, do any of the kids sing?
Yeah, mostly all of them. I would say the kids that like to sing the most are Dove and Memory. I'm not sure about Filia and Rainier yet, but yeah.
Amy says, special song to me. I have tons of family in West Virginia and went every year to see my grandmother. This song always makes me cry. You did a beautiful job.
Oh, that's really cool. Thanks for sharing that.
And then Evelyn says, awesome.
Thank you, everyone. All right.
Okay.
Turn it back over.
Time to come back to the reading headquarters. Okay. Let's hear another round of applause for our special guest. Can you believe, you guys, we almost, you wouldn't believe this, we almost didn't even have a special guest tonight because, to play music, because our special guest said that they didn't have any interesting enough songs to play. So they were just like, I'm not going to play anything because nothing's that special about me. And I was like, are you crazy? These people want to hear you play, and anything you play is special because you're a special person. And then I was able to talk her into it. So, you know, stuff. Okay. We're going to end off with this last little section of chapter 6 called The Break in Gatlinburg. The tiny carnival, so let me know if you have any questions, because we'll do questions at the end, and I have a special request and an offer, actually. Oh man, so many things. The tiny carnival-like town of Gatlinburg came along at the perfect time. We ate all-you-can-eat pancakes for dinner, and then again for breakfast. We slept in beds with pillows and looked at the snowy mountains through the windows of our climate-controlled rooms. We strolled down Main Street like tourists and bought saltwater taffy and coffee and celebrated being halfway done with the Smokies. The hot tub felt so nice that we momentarily forgot about the whole CPS scare. It was also nice to simply step off the trail for a while and feel like a part of civilization again. As a couple, this was my and Cammie's first chance to step away from the kids completely since we began this journey 22 days ago. We took a few hours to smoke cigars and relax together while Hominy and Papa babysat. After a lot of searching, we finally found a bar in town that allowed cigars. It felt like a frat party was raging inside, and we realized that Gatlinburg was a tourist destination and a bunch of college kids were here on spring break. 5 weeks earlier, spending spring break in a kitschy carnival town like Gatlinburg would have sounded like hell. Now we were just thankful to be out of the mountains. We looked at each other and laughed, thinking, how did we get here? Looking at the weather report, we took an extra 0 day to take advantage of the time with the grandparents. It was our 5th 0 day of the trip, only 23 days in. Okay, so 1/4, we've taken 5 zeros and we're 20 days in. To give you guys a heads up, the entire hike ended up being 160 days. So by this measurement, we were 1/5 plus 3. We were 1/8 of the way through. But our entire hike, I think we took 13 zeros. So we've almost taken half of our 0 days in the first 8.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't know that.
Yeah. Finally, the time came for us to be dropped off back at the bathroom parking lot on the trail in the middle of the Smoky Mountains. Yet again, we shared tear-filled goodbyes with Hominy and Papa. This time was harder because we knew what we were getting into. And part of us dreaded the cold and discomfort. It was still freezing cold outside, and the trail was covered in ankle-deep slush. After saying goodbye to my parents, reality hit hard. Hard slush filled our shoes, and it was obvious our mini vacation was over. The weather was, once again, a force to be reckoned with, but we were used to that by now. We weren't, however, prepared for attacks of a totally different nature. Dun, dun, dun.
I don't even know what you're referring to.
Oh, well, Cammie, if you're curious, you come
Reading
back.
the book?
No. Well, yeah, you could do that, I suppose, since you are the spouse of the author. Or,
Oh, it's that. Yeah.
hey, no peeking. Or you could come back next week and hear chapter 7 at 7:00 Eastern time. But before we get into that, we have, let's read these comments. Special guest was very special. Special experience. Your music is lovely. Yes. I agree.
Everyone said he is right, meaning what you were saying. This is all special experience. Thank you.
Okay, what do I have? I have a request. What did you think about today's chapter, guys? Is this new for anyone, or have you guys all read the book? If you're enjoying this, this is what I would love. I want to show you this thing that is really bothering me. Okay, this is my Amazon page. Do you see that? Will it focus on that? Okay. Do you see that star that's halfway filled right there? See how it's basically like 4.5 stars now? That white gap didn't used to be there, and now it's there.
Because you got more
Negative reviews.
Yeah, but I think even that comes with the territory when you just get a lot of reviews.
Not if the people are leaving 5-star reviews.
True.
Which, no pressure. I'm not saying you need to do this. But if you haven't left a review, and if you've either read the book or you're enjoying the experience now of hearing it, one of the ways you could hook us up is by leaving a review on Amazon and sharing your experience with others. It takes like literally 10 seconds if you want to just rate stars. And if you want to write something, it could take a minute or something. But I would really appreciate if you guys would be willing to do that. And I'm willing to, I have a little offer for you guys. If you guys would like to buy the book, for those that are listening to this, I made a coupon code that is really just for you guys. And it's at our merch store. So if you go to, what is it? fighttogether.bigcartel.com, which seems like a really annoyingly long thing. I'll post the link. If you use the coupon code Sunday Service, and I'm going to type this out for you, Sunday Service, you will get 20% off of the book. So it's like, I think it's $20 and includes a free electronic PDF, which is a pretty good deal. And then you take 20% off, which is what, $4. So it goes down to $16. And yeah, I'm going to keep that ongoing for people that are listening to this, because I like the fact that you guys are tuning in on your Sunday and you're commenting, and it's really kind of fun being with people. Christopher says, I'm remembering from your videos as you read it. Soon I'll be getting your book. Great, Christopher. Well, I hope that coupon code will work. And then someone else was commenting earlier. Who is that? That I gave that Christina. You got that link to the homeschooling video, I hope. Otherwise, yeah, if you guys, I would love it. Tura says, truly amazing story with children, weather, and challenges galore. Inspiring me to give the AT a try. You're 62, but not going to think about your age. I have the book and love it. Wonderful. I'm glad you love it. Would you please leave a review, or have you left a review already? Has anyone on here already left a review? Let me know, and I will, what's it called? Give you props. Is that a thing? What do people say nowadays? Call you out? I feel like kids are always asking, shout out? That's what it's called, shout out.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give a shout out. Evelyn says, if I already have the book, can I use it towards some other merch that Cammie is selling, or any other discount? Oh, man. Cammie, someone wants to buy your merch.
I know. That's
Cammie
discounted, especially since they watch this live.
Well,
Sure,
why don't you
not?
come over here and sell your merch then? Come on.
Okay.
These T-shirts in our basement. Let's get aggressive here. Some of this
Yeah.
merch is. How are you going to hook her up? Look, she wants a
Okay.
discount.
Yeah. Cool. What do you want a shirt? Or a mug? Or mug?
I think you should just give them.
Yeah. Help me out here, because I'll just give them whatever you
You
think.
don't just ask. You gotta get in the customer's mind.
Okay.
They want 20% off anything.
Okay.
So how about you make a coupon code?
I'll make a coupon.
You know what? I'll just change my coupon code and make it for everything. Why?
Yeah, that makes
The hell not? Let's do that right
simple.
now. Merch. Yeah. This is why you're not selling T-shirts. You're like
But she knows how to sing.
You're like surfing Instagram over there, and people want to buy your stuff. Let me change this. Okay, Sunday service is now just got changed.
To
I'm doing
not just books.
all items in category, everything. Their entire order.
Okay.
Are we gonna lose anything on that? I hope not. Okay, Evelyn, you use the coupon code Sunday Service, and you get 20% off. Whatever. Yep. I think. So thanks for asking.
Yes, it pays to ask.
Ignore this says, what are you doing this summer? You know what we're thinking about doing? There's a festival called Trail Days on the Appalachian Trail. And we're planning on going to that.
Yep.
In Damascus, Virginia. And me and the kids are talking about doing a little mountain climbing.
Little mountain climbing.
And I'm writing another book right now, which we're gonna.
Thank you, Evelyn.
That we're going to be talking about in future vlogs coming up in this next week or two. So nothing crazy adventurous planned, I don't think. Well, that mountain climb is.
That's a big deal. Ben's taking. Can I say what you're doing? He's taking his 4 oldest kids up Mount Rainier, which is a 14+ footer. It's nothing to sneeze at.
14,000 footer.
Yeah. I mean, I knew it was 14,000. How do you say? I just said 14 footers. Assuming people
14 plus.
Footer.
Well, people do call them 14ers, I guess.
Yeah. See, I know the lingo.
Amy says, bring a lot of books to sell at Trail Days.
Oh, yeah.
That would be nice.
Smart.
Wow, look at all those emojis. I like the rainbow one. All right. Hey, guys, thanks for joining.
Yeah, thank you.
Next week, we'll be doing chapter 7 and put the notifications on YouTube if you want to hear about these. Otherwise, I try and put them on Facebook or whatever, but I don't really know how that goes.
Christopher says this was a fast hour. Oh, that's good.
It is.
That's good, right?
That's really friendly. That's like we're in flow state.
Time's not even passing.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I'll make these as interactive as you guys want them to be. If you guys have questions or comments, that's why I'm doing it, is to interact with people over the book itself, because it was kind of lonely to write, and then I spent all this time, and then I just shipped it off, and then I never really got to talk to people about it. And you guys know how it is when you put all this time into something and your own spouse doesn't even read it. It's like Cammy has a week to write more songs. LOL.
Yeah. I am working on a song right now on the piano.
Well, you know a ton of songs, and people are fine if you replay the songs.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably end up doing is replaying some of my songs and then just doing covers as well, just to spice it up a little bit.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey guys, have a wonderful rest of your Sunday night. Thank you for coming to the Sunday service. Have a good week with Monday and a peaceful time wherever you're at with family and partners and children and life. And we really appreciate you guys taking some time out of your week to join us on our little project sharing digital world thing.
Yep.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.